Yeah.
I'm just getting a notification like every 5 seconds.
Yep. And MC Tune too. Like I have both of them the bell notification turned on.
This is in his Discord, so I'm getting a Discord
Oh.
ping. He just uploaded like 10 in the last 5 seconds.
He just came up on the stream.
I just saw someone in their chat say Discord is going crazy.
It is. It's just a ping constantly.
Oh, good.
How long before we're on?
We should be going.
Okay. We prefer to know ahead of time.
No, I see the intro playing.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to NASA Bunker 33, where all your bunker dreams come true. I'm Quitties the Sprinkler, and we've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to kind of rush through it tonight because MC Tune has a debate at, in an hour and a half. So we're going to try to get you guys all the JM derp we can in the next hour and a half, and then kick your asses out so you can go watch him. Tonight, let's see, we've got the producer that never fucks anything up ever, Zoomy. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Earlier it was a clerical error whenever it went live on a different broadcast altogether. Because, anyway, I never fuck anything up. Yeah, never.
Yeah.
It never happens. That's something
Ever.
that's not that happens. It's a negative happens. In fact, I've negatively fucked things up because now SC Tunes. Oh god. Hold on a second.
You fuck things up negatively because it's to the right of the decimal place, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We also have Abuma. How are you doing tonight?
What the hell? What happened to...
I'm muted. No, I'm not muted. Oh, I'm actually unmuted for a change. That's good. Not much, guys. We've got high winds here, so my internet's all, who knows, it's either going to be high-powered hamsters or slow-powered hamsters. I don't really know. But I question my sanity, but the unicorn in the kitchen told me I'm fine, so I'm good with that.
Is
more
the wind
JM
upside down there?
It is upside down, yes. So it sucks instead of blows.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yes, the opposite, of course. No, because the Earth's flat. As JM is about to prove. I mean, come on, guys. JM is pretty much, he's got a degree in fucking everything. He knows everything, and he tells us it's flat. That's good enough for me, I think. And what about your Demic character? How's he going? Is he going to be with us tonight or not?
He may make an appearance later. We'll have to wait and see.
Well,
Yeah.
If you're going to be Democ Man, you need to be a man among men because he is pretty deep voice monologue, boring as fuck, and yet people still seem to listen to him for some reason.
Oh, and apparently-
he is a rare one.
And apparently,
And people
Anyway.
seem to enjoy my Democ better than Democ's Democ. So there is that.
Well, you rage quit about 2 minutes later. That's the thing. So you
Yeah.
get two more minutes of Democ with you. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're a Clayton's Democ. You are a flat Earth's understudy. Oh, the angle. Democ's understudy. Wow, that's not setting the bar so low. Not even an ant can see it. Anyway, yeah, good stuff. Good to be here. We got jam shit, so let's get through it. Here's the gift.
All right. We also have a Draco Fire with us. How are you doing tonight?
Get me out of that fucking hot tub.
I told Draco before the stream that he could be in the hot tub with me. We'd play tummy sticks, and he
Yeah,
didn't really wanna do
I'd rather sit on the couch, honestly. Or actually, here's a better idea. Just put my face on top of JM's. That'll look so much better.
yeah, there you go.
that. Yeah. All right. So, since Draco can only stay with us for a short time, we were going to do the video that's on the screen right here first. But I've made an executive decision here. And instead, we are going to watch the NASA Bunker 33 JM trailer.
Here we
Yeah.
go. I'm trembling with anticipation.
You
This
gotta-
was a lot of fun to make. In a world where 10 to the negative 17 is a negative number, only one man
Well, hello. Who's this?
Hi guys, Joshua Michael here.
has all the qualifications needed.
But you don't want to throw me under the bus and say I don't have any
any,
authority to speak on this matter, when actually I'm the only one with any authority to speak on this matter.
To win Top Left 2022.
What the fuck is the fraction index anyway?
Hey, Snake. Just so you know who you're talking to, Nathan was almost a neurosurgeon.
Nathan, where did you do your undergraduate study before medical school? Then after, where did you do your internship and residency? JM's Truth said you were almost a neurosurgeon.
I like how he called
I said
him
he had
the
to speak
JM's
to us.
truth.
He was almost a neurosurgeon, is what I said, actually.
Hey, finish, please. I'm boggled. My mind is boggled.
This spring, join us as this guy.
Let me go ahead. Let me just say, 10 to the negative 17, guys, just to cover this again. They did a billion times, because apparently the people on non-sequester don't know how to count. 10 to the negative 17 is negative 17 10 times.
Single-handedly.
Land surveyors survey the land. Well, you insult every flat earther's ability to understand physics, and the basic physics of thermodynamics is that you cannot have a gas I mean, the fact, Craig, that you have done physics and you're denying the second law of thermodynamics is hilarious to me.
Shows the world.
Hey, listen, if this is 9 miles away, you sure as fuck didn't move the camera 9 miles. The camera did not move 9 miles. The camera did not move 9 miles.
The camera doesn't need to move 9 miles, you dumbass. It just needs to swing. Oh my god. Why does the camera have to move 9 miles?
Because there's 9 mile difference between the launch pad and the landing zone,
Oh my
you fucking
fucking
idiot.
god.
JM, technically that's just known as a pan in the industry. I just thought you might never know.
Oh yeah, pan.
That being a modified expert at everything.
Let's call this qualification. Quote unquote qualifications.
All of them? Yeah, I was about to say, you're missing a few.
I just screenshot those from the Flurf wiki and put them in.
Etc.
I,
Etc.
I love this though.
Graphic
I
design.
just love the
Yes,
I love the
you heard it.
Graphic design.
Rocket design, of course. Why not?
Is easier than knowing how to spell anything.
Anything.
Do you want?
Mad Kid.
Mad Kid.
Let's extras graved. Coordination.
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 It was coordination.
Debree. You're that's dumb.
That's dumb.
3 spelling mistakes.
I thought I understood science. Boy, was I wrong.
Will you concede that a parabola is accurate?
Where JM is allowed to be on
I mean,
YouTube.
honestly, he is the personification of the top left of the Dunning-Kruger. Like, I can't think of anyone that fits the description of being, you know, on the left side of the Dunning-Kruger scale more than this guy.
I'm gonna say he's modified Dunning-Kruger, because I'm gonna say Mount Stupid has been shifted slightly left for him.
Yeah.
So it's even closer to no knowledge before you think you're an expert in everything.
This is the best part.
Yeah.
Not
Zoomy made
selected
this
for
image.
XSW. Not selected for the Cannes Film Festival. Not selected for Sundance Film Festival.
That was my idea.
It would have been funny if you put 0 out of 10 IGN.
Oh, I should
Disaster.
have. Oh my god, you should have been there for the brainstorming session because that would have been awesome.
So I want to point out.
I
wanna
wish we
point
had
out
thought
real
about
quick.
that.
I want to point out.
Hang on.
All right.
Let me say this real quick. I wish we had thought about the 0 out of 10, because we could have put like 10 to the negative 17 on
Out of
Rotten
10.
Tomatoes.
Yeah. Certified
Okay, go ahead.
rotten. I just want to point out that JM's logic, he said 10 to the negative 17 is negative 17 10 times, which means, of course, that the integral of x to the negative 10 is actually negative 5x squared, because, you know, it's just negative 10 times x. It's incredible logic.
Even the crickets are sitting here scratching their heads on that one.
Exactly.
What does that mean?
Math is not reality.
It means that he thinks an exponent is multiplication, which, if as soon as you get into calculus, that is so unbelievably wrong. You couldn't get away with that anywhere in calculus. You'd be wrong at the very basic level.
Well, actually,
but he claims to be an expert in calculus, so.
Well, hang on. This is not even calculus, mate. This sort of stuff, as in, what do you call it, multiplying integers, that's year 10, from what I remember, because I wasn't even that interested in it, but I do remember that shit. With all the
Exponents are
logarithms at
probably
the
like
back of the
year 9, or like in year 8.
Yeah. Whatever. He shouldn't have not got it. He shouldn't just pretend to be an expert in everything. But that's JM, isn't it? Really.
So right now, that trailer's on my channel. I don't know if it's the video that they're actually using for his nomination. I'm pretty sure Ride of Dinosaurs was supposed to make a video for that.
Yeah, and Clever Mom made
but
one too.
we are, yeah. But we are going to have it on this channel as well. But I
I'll
just put
probably
the link to it on my channel in chat. If
There is a
anyone wants to go
nomination
watch it
video
again.
posted for JM. I don't know whose it is, though.
Yeah, I haven't looked at them yet.
Oh, it's yours.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So
yours is up on Craig's channel right now.
Oh, nice.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
So go watch it, and go watch the I think 20 or 25 other nomination videos that are up on both Craig's channel, FTFE, and MC Toon's channel.
Tomorrow is gonna be busy.
That QE video had me rolling.
I haven't sifted through. I've watched like 6 of them.
Just the ones that they showed on the stream a little while ago. Those are the ones that I've seen. But that QE video, I think, was way better than the one that we did.
Is that the one where he says that Google Earth is a flat Earth map?
No, it's just QE repeating. Oh, what was
here
it
it
he was
is.
saying? They just cut like different words.
It's a 10-second video.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I'm a stupid moron.
Yeah.
It's just QE roasting himself.
Yeah.
That is funny.
That was beautiful.
I can't wait to go watch all of these.
Well, let's move along. Anything else?
All right, so Zumi was really wanting the video where JM is outstanding in his field.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite JM video.
Yeah.
Well, come to find out, JM didn't like that we made fun of him, so he took that video down. But in the process of making that trailer, I got in touch with Rider of Dinosaurs, and Zumi and Glober Mom and Rider of Dinosaurs and I spent 2 hours on a call last week talking.
Yeah.
And Ryder mentioned that he had this huge cloud server of
Database.
JM stuff.
Database. It's a database.
So I went through it, and guess what I found? He had downloaded this video and had it on his server. So I just kind of took it off and put it on my Google Drive so that we could watch it tonight.
Thief. Copyright infringement. That is
Yes.
Ryder's video. Because it came from his cloud server.
He gave us permission to use every video in his possession. So.
Yeah, but you're forgetting YouTube doesn't care if you got permission. YouTube will take it down anyways.
Well, it's not on YouTube. It's on
True,
Ryder's cloud server. So
that is true.
Yeah.
We're about to put it on YouTube. We're on YouTube. We are on YouTube. Do you know that? YouTube, us, we're on. We're putting it on YouTube.
Halfway through watching this video, the stream just cuts out.
Well, that's been known to happen in the past, so let's just see. Keep an eye on the red meter.
You know, JM got very triggered when FTFE took shots from this and put clown makeup on JM. And JM tried
said
to.
It was vandalism.
Yeah, he said it was vandalism and it was copyright infringement and he was stealing his work or something. And yeah, he got really triggered over that. So
hey, there was one I did want to bring up before in our little presentation. You did good top job, by the way, guys. Was where JM was saying Nathan's virtually a brain surgeon. Did you notice down in the other picture? There's Nathan with SpongeBob, trademark infringement, hitting it with a hammer. Now that's the extent of Nathan's brain surgery. Was that coincidental, or did that just happen to fall over the right place?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure James did that on purpose.
Yeah,
James knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that just shows how unoriginal Nathan is. He couldn't even think of that on his own. He literally stole it.
From Kent Hovind, no less.
Yeah, from Kent Hovind.
Kent Hovind, no less. Yeah.
Like, you could have stolen from someone a little bit more interesting than Kent Hovind.
Yeah.
Nope.
The guy who was debunked like 8 years ago or some shit.
Technically, SpongeBob is Satan because anyone who's an atheist is an evil tool of Satan. Therefore, SpongeBob being our overlord makes him Satan, according to the Kent Hovind Book of Logic. Anyway,
so Glober Mom says that was from
said.
her video, and yeah, I asked Glober Mom when I was putting everything together for the trailer. I asked her if she had that, and she sent it to me. So, Glober Mom, did you put the Nathan hitting the SpongeBob there in that, or was it on the original stream? Because that was brilliant.
Either way, fucking hilarious. It's just who gets the credit for how hilarious it is.
So yeah, that clip came from Glober Mom. Oh, he did it on Modern Day.
Modern Debates.
So yeah, basically,
James definitely did that on purpose.
Basically, last thing about the trailer, and then we'll start this video. We started out. It was Zumi and Christ Puncher and I brainstorming and trying to figure out exactly what we were going to do after we had talked about this in an after show a few days before, and Booma, I think you threw in a couple of ideas with it as well. And then Glober Mom and Rider of Dinosaurs helped. I tried to credit everyone that helped on the video if you go to my page, even though I just now remembered that Booma, you did have a part in it, and I didn't credit you personally other than saying it was for NASA Bunker 33. But yeah, huge thanks to everyone that helped with that video. I'm pretty proud of it. I had so much fun making that video, and if my internet didn't suck and it didn't take me 2 fucking hours to upload that 5-minute video, I would probably make more videos.
Yeah.
In a world where Quinny's the Sprinkler has good internet.
And it was me, and I think it was me that did
He
the
uploads
trailer
a video more than once per year.
And I gotta say, I loved the green screen at the beginning as well as the
Yes.
Bunker 33 logo I did.
Yeah, this trailer has been approved for all audiences. The Derp, Zumi made that. She made the Bunker 33 logo with all of our avatars, and she made the
end card.
title screen at the end with the not selected for stuff.
Yeah,
that was part of that original brainstorming session.
0 out of 10. IGN, absolutely horrendous.
Fatty, why do I have 188 notifications on Discord?
It's because literally everyone in the community is uploading all the nomination videos. And there's like 50 of them.
25 on FDFE. Let's see, on MP
Only 25.
81 on Tunes.
81!
God damn.
Oy vey.
I only got 3 notifications on YouTube. I think they just decided not to notify me about everything else that MC Tunes. Oh my god, the amount of videos. I just go to Tunes videos uploads and I just scroll down. It's just row after row of nomination video. Alright, let's start watching this before I have to leave.
Without further ado, JM outstanding in his field.
Right away, a spelling mistake. It's experiments.
Wait, is this Comic Sans?
Yes, this Comic Sans.
I think it is Comic Sans.
At least use Gothic text. Gothic's better than Comic Sans. Anyway. Or sans serif. Sans serif's pretty good.
Sans serif is a good one. Or Libra Calso.
I always prefer American Gothic myself.
I feel like this music is about to turn JM into Jack Sparrow.
Well, on the stream, I'm just getting like the beat drop every 5 notes or something. So
Me too. Yeah, it sounds like a haunting Frankenstein movie in the background, doesn't it? I'm getting scared because it's him, you never know.
Turn the volume down a little
much more
bit.
sense to a horror movie, believe me.
Keith Newton is right. Comic Sans, the font of champions.
Yep.
Physics. I love how he uploaded it as "Where did the universe go?"
Yeah.
I love the way his budget cuts and pulls it back to Science 100. Wouldn't it be 101? I thought, oh no, 103. Wow,
Well,
okay.
most colleges
more money.
actually start at 1,000, not 100. So I don't know what he's doing. Here.
Oh
wondering
well,
what he was
the
going
reason it's uploaded as .mp4 is because it's on. I uploaded it as .mp4.
Oh, you
on
downloaded
my
it?
Google
Oh,
Drive.
I see.
Yeah, I had to download it from Ryder's cloud server and then put it on Google Drive so we could watch it because
Right.
I couldn't share it from Ryder's cloud server.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, he didn't title it that. That's what it was titled in the cloud server.
It would have been so
Oh,
funny
okay.
if he did title it that, though. and I could totally see him doing that, like uploading a video titled "Where did the universe go?" .mp4.
Gas pressure .mp4.
.mp4. Even funnier. .mp3. And it's just a black
science.
screen.
I was thinking science 103 .mp3.
No. Worse. .wave. .wav.
Worse.
Okay,
.wave.
guys,
.wave.
if you take your back, chromium dioxide tape. Okay.
Where did the universe go?
It disappeared in Tom Shelby's sound translation.
God, that was loud though.
It was.
Shalom, my friends. My name is Joshua Michael, and I'd like to welcome you to jamtruth.com.
Shalom to you too.
This is the Science 100 series.
Why does
this
he say
class is Science
jmtruth.com when
103
this was uploaded on YouTube?
on gas pressure. And I've
I know, right?
subtitled this class, Where Did the Universe Go? Because by the end of the class, I'm going to reveal to you
JM
if you
looks
don't
like
live
he's
where
about
you
to chop
think you
up
do.
some pork
And that,
chops.
that question, where did the universe go, is going to be answered by the end of this class. So, I think you'll find this class particularly interesting, because gas is a very unique state of matter. And gas pressure is even more...
No, it's not.
No,
There's
it's
nothing
not.
really all that unique about gas.
No, is this the same video where he says, "Fire, the element by which the sun burns"?
The sun. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same video.
I thought
Yep,
so.
this is it.
Oh,
But
God.
there is nothing unique about gas. Gas is
No.
like gas makes up something like what 90% of the observable
Yeah.
universe. So if anything, gas is the least unique form of matter.
Yeah, liquid is the most unique form of matter.
Specifically water, but yes.
Yeah.
Well, liquid,
Well, actually,
anything really.
most polar liquids are very unique in their properties. Solids are kind of boring. Gases have pretty consistent rules that they follow mostly, but liquids can fucking do anything.
And this is also the video I pointed out to everyone that he's wearing a fucking chef's smock.
Which is why I said he looks like he's about to cut up some pork chops.
It's really funny because if you squint at this the wrong way, it is very similar to a lab coat, but then you check, it doesn't have button fasteners, which means that if there was like a fire in the lab, you wouldn't be getting that coat off very quickly. It doesn't have
No.
closed wrist cuffs,
Nope.
and it has, and it's like clearly not made of a good material. That's quite a thin material. he's got there.
I
But
think
he makes really good sausages, guys. They are the best from James Butcher.
I just think it's really weird that flat earthers decided that they needed to LARP as scientists. They needed to buy lab coats to wear in their videos. I mean, look at JM buying the wrong thing and getting a chef smock, and you've got Riley buying one for his "This is an egg," and you've got Dell buying one.
Didn't he
for
even
his stupid shit?
Didn't Riley not even like fasten his
No,
lab
he didn't.
coat in that video?
No.
Like it was just hanging open.
Yeah, it was just hanging open.
If I'd done that, my chemistry professor would have kicked
That's
me out
all
of the
flat
lab.
Earth is people LARPing.
That's scientists.
Stupid people LARPing as smart people.
Right.
Yeah, that's...
Remember, this is the
That's what
same
it
guy who
is.
claims to have a degree in everything.
In everything. In everything.
Yeah, we saw the Flurf wiki.
He read A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and decided he had the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So he had a degree in everything.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's keep going.
more exclusive. Which, interestingly enough, kind of will change the paradigm of where we live once we pay attention to it and realize it's got some very unique and very specific.
And Glover Mom is right. At least JM's glasses have lenses in them. Riley's didn't.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They have
Yeah, a
lenses
lot of
in
them try to look smart by wearing glasses with no lenses, or with Dell, he was wearing some sort of goggles.
Yeah, well, yeah, the goggles.
Like some sort of metal cutting goggles or something, but with not darkened lenses.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, God.
Qualifying factors to it. I would highly recommend that you buckle in, because by the end of this course, that subtitle
Buckle
will
in.
be answered, folks.
Buckle in. Buckle up.
So let's get started. First, we are
Also,
told by
Buckle
science.
up, buckaroo.
It's buckle up, not buckle in.
I think he
science
he
that we
mixed
live
up
on
a buckle
a
up and
globe.
strap in.
Oh, there you go. No, but it's strap on, though. It's not strap in.
That's debatable.
Every time I hear "buckle up," all I think of is the South Park with crap. What's her name that became a man? Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner,
Man
yeah.
man that became a woman. Sorry, Caitlyn Jenner
Garrison?
driving Mr. Garrison around every time she gets behind the wheel. Buckle up, buckaroos!
Oh, yeah.
And then
up,
she
kiddo.
runs over someone.
Runs over someone, yeah.
that there's an atmosphere, and on just beyond that atmosphere, there's a vacuum of space and stars and the sun, and all this stuff. So with the beginning of the scientific method, you must first start with a question.
Is all
So here's the question.
stuff a
How do you
scientific
have
term, JM?
It's all stuff. All stuff is a scientific term.
All this stuff.
All the stuff, yeah. All
Just
the stuff.
wave your arms in the air and say all this stuff. That's completely scientific, JM.
If we comment on, as we know from roulette, if we comment on every dumb thing you say, we're only going to get 3 minutes on this.
Yeah. Okay.
have a gas pressure, also known as atmospheric pressure, without a container to begin
Same
with.
thing.
Folks, I think this is the basis of our understanding, the basis of this course and this class, and we need to really look at this question. And we're going to really dive deep into this.
Yes. Gas pressures, which he falsely equates to atmospheric pressure, that is the basis of scientific understanding as we know it. Gas pressure just defines everything in the universe. Absolutely.
Yes.
Gas pressure is what determines everything in the universe. Nothing else.
According to Flat Earth, yeah.
Fuck gravity, right?
Fuck gravity, fuck gravity.
Fuck gravity. Fuck the nuclear strong and weak forces. Fuck electromagnetism. It's gas pressure. That's
And
what
of course,
decides everything.
fuck thermodynamics.
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 Yeah.
Which I did find that clip where he said thermodynamics twice in like 10 seconds. I was like, yeah, that's going in the video.
I can't wait to take my course on thermal chemistry.
Thermos chemistry.
Thermos chemistry.
Particular question. So let's bring the board on. So here's the question. How do you have a gas pressure, also known as atmospheric pressure, without a container to begin with?
I have an answer.
Next question.
I have an answer. Gravity.
Yep. Next question.
Cue desert file. Gravity, you
fucking retard! Gravity! Have you ever heard of fucking gravity? Gravity! Gravity!
Ear rape, guys. Ear rape. Thank you.
Also,
sorry, people in the chat who've got headphones on.
Also, I have to point out, even though we're not a learning channel, we're a point and lab channel, but even though that is the case, I have to point out that we do lose around 90 tons of atmosphere to space every day. And that's something that happens every day, but
90 tons compared to the weight of the atmosphere is basically nothing.
Yeah, it's basically nothing, plus it replenishes itself through alpha decay radiation through the surface elements.
Yeah, but can I point out though, here's an interesting thing is that to use tonnage.
I didn't know your mom went to space every day.
To use tonnage of atmosphere, not many people work in tonnage of atmosphere. Like, how much is 90 tons? Like, is it the size of 10 trucks or 6 football fields? Like, we need to use the washing machine or football field analogy. So how big is 90 tons of oxygen?
Is that your Australian footy field, or is that like an American football field?
I don't know. Well, you guys in the US use American football fields as a unit of measure. So I don't know.
You're Australian though, so you could be talking about a footy pitch, or you could be talking about a soccer pitch, or like what?
Oh well, we say could fill up the MCG so many times, and that's our Coliseum. So yeah, we do have a measure on that. But I'm just curious, what is 90 tons of oxygen? Because I'm not in the process of weighing oxygen every day, as you could probably imagine. What is that in volume? Like
around 10.
Well, technically, it can be any volume of oxygen. Because
but
weight
we
is
don't
kind of
really lose
independent
oxygen. We lose we lose hydrogen and some helium, basically.
Right.
That's pretty much the only thing that gets blown off out into space from our atmosphere.
Oxygen is too massive to gain the energy needed to escape.
But to answer Booma's question, around 900 washing machines, close to 1,000 washing machines a day.
Right. Okay.
But what is that in bananas? If Imgur has taught me anything, the only true internet measurement is a banana.
10 to the negative 17 bananas.
Oh, right. 17 bananas.
So 90 tons is a negative number then.
Yeah, it's actually a negative 170 bananas.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
Negative 170 bananas.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, let's keep going.
Folks, in order to start the process, we first need to define gas pressure. So let's start with the definition of gas pressure. The pressure of a gas is the force that gas exerts on the walls of its container.
That's
Okay,
correct.
that's from chemistryelmhurst.edu.
Now
let's read that again.
define
So-
The
atmospheric
pressure of a gas is the force that gas exerts
You
on
can
the
even
walls of
you
its
can even
container.
use this definition for technically for atmospheric pressure because we
Next
have
page.
a wall that it's impacting against.
Just
There goes
goes the
AM
paper.
littering.
To have a gas pressure, it must have a container to begin with.
Well, it just needs
must
one
be
wall, JM.
contained within walls in a
Yeah.
sealed container. Folks,
No,
that's
just
the
one
very
wall.
definition of gas pressure.
Literally, the
You can't have a
wind
gas pressure
blowing
without
against
a
the wall of
container.
your house
Okay?
is a gas pressure.
Well, not even that. The one wall
Okay, let's
is
look
the
at Boyle's
ground.
law.
That's all you need. And there you go.
Kinetic
You now have
molecular
a
theory
container
explanation of
as long as
Boyle's
you have
law.
gravity.
Observations about pressure may be explained using the following ideas. The rapid motion and collision of molecules within the
feeling that
walls
JM
of the
doesn't
container
understand Boyle's
causes,
law.
in caps, pressure.
What
Yeah.
makes you think that?
What makes you think that?
Because JM doesn't have an understanding of anything. So I seriously
Wait,
doubt
wait.
JM is
You
a
actually
Boyle's law expert.
you expect a flat earther to understand anything?
No.
Okay.
That's why they're a flat
Right,
earther.
that's your answer. There you
making
go.
sure.
He heard his Papa Flurf. He heard Nathan Thompson say Boyle's law. Therefore, Boyle's law proves whatever he's wanting it to prove. That's his extent of knowledge into Boyle's law.
That is true. I mean, it's kind of like I know it's kind of a cringy analogy, but it's kind of like in anime or manga when you have a power that is very loosely defined, because it just does whatever the plot needs it to do, and that's what JM thinks Boyle's law does, and that's what he thinks everything does. Actually, it
Yeah.
does what is convenient for his plot, what is convenient for his agenda. That is what Boyle's law does. If Boyle's law needs to say that gas if JM needs Boyle's law to say that gas pressure doesn't exist, then that's what Boyle's law says.
Yeah.
That's what JM thinks science is. It says what he wants it to say, or
Yeah.
it says what we want it to say.
Well, we all know JM's terrible understanding of science. And one of my favorite things ever was his debate with T-Jump when he tried to explain what peer review was.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I remember that. You made me remember that one. Oh shit.
Of course, now it's a world away from what allegedly Dave calls peer review, which is a completely, we won't even go there, will we?
Allegedly,
We'll talk
Dave's
about that
idea
later.
of peer review is like a wine tasting type
Yep,
thing.
correct.
Well, see,
Yeah.
allegedly, Dave allegedly has a review channel, and I bet you can imagine what he reviews on that channel.
Oh God.
A lovely drop
Yeah,
of
we covered the
wine.
peer
Allegedly,
drinkers a
of
few
course.
weeks ago.
Allegedly,
we
this is all allegations. It's all allegedly.
Yes.
Allegedly.
So,
Allegedly.
Mr. Unite for the Children, you should look that up. It's JM versus T-Jump on Modern Day Debate. And basically, he says that peer review, I'm paraphrasing here, but he says that peer review is when you write a scientific paper and then you take it to a board that reads your paper and makes sure that it conforms with what they say science is.
Yeah.
He thinks it's the same as getting your as defending a doctoral thesis, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's not the exact same thing, but that's clearly where he got the inspiration for this bogus description of peer review.
Yeah.
And with that absolutely incredible memory of what JM has done in his past, that is the end of my time, so I'm gonna have to leave.
Oh.
Hey,
Well,
before you go,
it was great having
I've
you.
got a quick science question for you, or a chemistry question.
What's that?
Incoming learning stuff. So just if you don't want to go and put it to me, uranium as it depletes and goes from its stage of whatever we call it, top grade uranium, down to lead.
Yep.
It goes through 5 different stages of degradation. At about stage 3 or 4, it becomes a gas. Right now, how does it stay together to become the next stage? Like, it's got to be in some form of containment, doesn't it? Because uranium as a gas would then dissipate into the atmosphere. What happens to it? I'm curious.
You're asking as it decays into lead, and it
Well, yep.
Yeah, and you
Well,
said
the individual molecules, even though they're a gas, the individual molecules,
right.
even if they go into the atmosphere, will still degrade into whatever it is next. It just won't be one solid mass of
Hang on,
whatever it is.
Quiddies. We've got someone who's a student in chemistry here. So, no, look, it's 5 stages of degradation. It goes to a gas form, as in it goes around. So why doesn't it dissipate off and join and become part of the 1% of others? This is what I'm asking. How does it stay together? Is all lead formed?
Quiddies is mostly correct. It's because the properties and like the melting point and boiling point of the atoms or of the substance is determined on the atomic level and not like as a collective. So the single atom of that gas will, once it degrades into the atom of lead, it will now have a different boiling point and it will recondense back into lead. So
how does it get back together though? Like, I mean, does that happen in the atmosphere or does it happen in the earth, like where the uranium's doing its transformation? Because all of the lead around is together. So it's obviously you've got to have got back together at some stage. I was curious. Sorry to keep you longer.
I'm not entirely confident that I can answer that question, but I would imagine
that
fair
enough.
That's
That's
something
cool.
to do.
That's
I would
good.
imagine that it has either something to do with the speed of degradation or the pressure at the point of degradation.
My educated guess was the opposite of a sacrificial anode, where it finds itself. You know how certain masses will tend to come towards each other when they're similar, I think. But I'm not sure. You know, you have mixtures and they'll kind of settle out of it. But either way, okay. Thank you for your science knowledge.
It could also be when it degrades underground, and the gas doesn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah,
it stays in
that's
that
what
spot
I thought,
as a gas and
that's what I said
degrades into lead, and then you have a chunk of lead instead of just individual atoms of lead.
Right.
Exactly, and that's what I had thought. But then that would mean most of it's happened near the surface of the Earth because we have so much lead around. Like all lead started life as uranium, and fucking lead's everywhere. So yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, good point. Though.
We also have Led Zeppelin.
I came to that myself. It's spelt differently anyway.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not. I know I'm a student in chemistry, but I don't know that much. You know, I'm not an expert.
I love chemistry. Is a great thing, dude. It's fucking fun. Anyway, have fun.
That's kind of why I'm majoring in it. Anyways,
Have
see
a
you guys
good night,
later.
Draco.
All right, take care, Draco.
See you, mate.
All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
When I was a young boy, I grew up on the farm.
Santos,
I'm a country boy.
We don't care.
And I used to fuck the cows and the pigs. I used to fuck the pigs, and the cows would come, and I would pat them and look into their eyes.
That's good. Okay, fine.
Santa, you got to move on. Thanks, Glover Mum. That was a great joke.
Force on a unit area. Pressure is proportional to the number of molecular collisions and the force of the collisions in the particular area. The more collisions of gas molecules with the walls, what walls? The walls of the container, the higher the pressure. Okay? And that's from chemistryelmhurst.edu as well. Bear with me for a minute, folks. Let's look at this. If I remove either of these conditions, either the collision of molecules or the walls of the container, do I have a gas pressure? No! Pressure is proportional to the number of molecular collisions and the force of those collisions in the particular area. Okay?
Okay.
Without the walls of a container, there can be no pressure.
Okay.
It's like having an atmosphere and a vacuum in the same place. It's an oxymoron, folks. You can't have it.
Was it Rider of
Anyway,
Dinosaurs
let's look at
that added the Mr. Mackey to one of JM's videos when he kept saying okay or K or whatever? Every time he did it, he would just clip Mr. Mackey.
Okay. I don't know. But I sped it up to 1.25 because he does kind of speak kind of slowly.
Yeah.
A gas is a sample of matter that conforms to the shape of its container in which it is held and acquires a uniform density inside the container, meaning it equalizes, folks. Even in the presence of gravity, and regardless of the amount
Yeah,
of substance in the
1.5
container.
is
So
fine.
regardless of whether you believe gravity or not, you still must have a container.
Because
Okay? It
this
doesn't
is
matter.
all
It's
JM
not
ever
confined to a
does
container.
is just read definitions and say he's teaching you things.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all he does.
And he's not. The definitions that he's reading don't have anything to do with the universe itself.
Yeah,
Like he's trying to say that this is supposed to be about the universe, but he's reading a definition that is very succinct, I guess, for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
as to what it pertains to.
Yeah.
It's a very narrow definition of
Yeah,
something.
He doesn't do the actual scientific definitions of things. He just does the layman's interpretation of those things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Container. Gaseous matter, known as vapor, will disperse into space. Let's read that
And
again.
it does.
If not confined to a container, gaseous matter, known as vapor, will disperse into space.
And as I already said, it does. About 90 tons of it.
Folks, it's called
Admittedly,
increasing entropy.
you
It's called
were
the
in the
atomic force.
future,
It's
though,
the-
and he doesn't know that.
True.
In his defense.
True. In his defense, he doesn't know because this isn't the future from where he posted it. But still.
Well, even if he watched this stream, he still wouldn't know.
Good point. He's never going to know it anyway. Excellent point.
How
Yeah.
many times has he been told things? And he does the flurf reset.
Yeah.
Where he knows it for about 5 minutes and then he forgets it.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much every flurf, though. That.
Yeah.
The second law of thermodynamics.
Thermodynamics.
The term gas is also used in reference to the state or condition
Thermodynamics.
of matter having this property. Let's look at another one. The atoms and molecules in
We
gases
should have made this
are
a
much more
drinking
spread out
game.
than in
Every
solids or
time
liquids.
Jam says thermal dynamics, take a drink.
No, we don't want to kill. We don't want to kill our viewers. Come on.
Meaning they
I,
vibrate and
I
move
love
freely
that
and at high
stream
speed.
though, where
A gas will
I think
fill
it
any
was
container.
Team Skeptic kept saying thermal dynamics, like really emphasizing the L,
Thermal,
and JM just kept repeating it.
Yeah.
He was trying to make it obvious, and JM didn't catch it.
Yeah. Let's continue, because if we don't, it's going to be 11 by the time we finish this video.
Keep going.
But if the container is not sealed, the gas will escape. That's from
And it
science.org.
does. And it does.
This is pretty cut and dry, folks. I mean, I can't make this any easier. I don't know how else to explain this. Okay, it's pretty.
Okay.
It's pretty blatant.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let's look at another one.
Okay.
Gases behave
Okay.
differently from the other two commonly states of matter, solids and liquids. So we have different methods of treating and understanding how gases behave under certain conditions. Gases, unlike, big word there, solids or liquids, have neither fixed volume or shape. They are molded entirely by the container in which they are held. And that's from the University of North Carolina. Can anyone see where I'm going with this? Anyone? Going
Wait,
once? Going
pause.
twice? No?
I
Well, let's
want
move
to
on.
point something out. That reference that they use is not from the University of North Carolina. It's from the University of North Carolina at Pembroke, which is
yeah.
not the University of North Carolina.
Yeah.
But all the flirts call it the University of North Carolina. But it's not. It's a different fucking school in a different fucking city.
Yeah.
It's like saying the University of California and the University of California at LA are the same school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where's JM actually from?
I don't know where he's from originally, but he's lived like in the Pacific Northwest for a long time, like Washington and Montana.
And you call yourself a stalker? Oh, honestly, Quiddy, I'm a bit disappointed on that. I thought you had everyone's name and address.
I don't stalk him that closely. I just know his general vicinity. I'm not peeping in his window like Brainy Beaver.
I'll just try hard to hide my disappointment. I don't know how I'll go with that, but yeah, thanks, mate. I'm a little bit shattered. Okay.
All right, keep going.
So this is from our friends at NASA, folks. The molecules are in constant random motion and frequently collide with each other and the walls of the container. because molecules are in motion and gas will expand to fill the container. Since density is defined to be the mass divided by volume, density depends directly on the size of the container in which the fixed mass of gas is confined.
Fixed mass.
And that's from our good...
Fixed mass. We don't have a fixed mass of gases in our atmosphere because it's constantly being replenished by alpha decay radiation underground.
JM doesn't know that. If you said alpha decay radiation, JM would have no fucking clue what you're talking about, though. Holy crap, I got a bunch of YouTube notifications now.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Each time they're putting up a nomination, another notification's coming up. Yeah, it's either that or someone's upset with some critique I've made on a different YouTube channel. You get that sometimes. It's easy to upset Marines. They don't like it when you attack their job. Yeah.
Let us continue with this insanity.
Good friends at NASA. Of course, someone's going to say, but Josh, you don't believe what NASA says. Technically, that's true. Most of what NASA presents us, I have found to be pseudoscience and not correct. However, in this particular instance, according to what they put out
NASA's
as far
only
as
right
gas
when
and gas
JM
pressure is
wants
concerned,
them to be right.
they are correct in regards to what genuine science is already established. Okay, let's look at the last definition. This is from schooltutoring.com. It's a website for special ed children or children with special needs. So let's look at that. This is on gas. It has no shape or size of its own. It takes the shape of its container and occupies the space given to it. And that's from schooltutoring.com.
And gravity isn't a container, but
okay,
it
so
can
I
be
just
thought
gave you
of as a
7 different
container.
scientific citations, all 7 of which specifically mention a container. In fact, the word container appears 14 times within those 7 citations. I don't know. It's probably just a coincidence. In fact, the word container probably isn't even all that important. We probably could just throw it out, right? Folks, gas pressure is specifically defined by the container and the walls in which it's held. Now, I didn't actually see this until Quantum Eraser on YouTube pointed it out, and then I don't know whether it's just you opened my eyes to it or what.
What, Puma?
Yeah, no, I was going to say this is actually something like this highlights his willful ignorance can really be bad. I'm going to bring up some incoming learning stuff because I've been doing a little bit of YouTube, University of YouTube stuff, but where they say the whole thing of gas. Now, Jupiter, as we know, is a gas giant, which means we've never been to the bottom. I don't know if it's a hugely viscous sort of a form inside its core, whether it's got something, but it appears to have no real mass. But here's the thing, when other items go in there that are in orbit like rocks, they get drawn through such pressures and such speeds that it actually literally rains diamonds or rubies or whatever. Yeah. Certain chemicals rain around inside the gas thing itself, which the gas is a container. The pressurization of the gas actually makes the container. But when you start reading up on this stuff that the really good sciencey brain dudes do and put together, and then you see these great little YouTube presentations of it literally can rain rubies, I think, on Uranus or something like that. Now, I don't know about you, but that could be a high-class butt plug, but it could also be a great learning method. But here's the thing with the JMs is...
I mean, I have a ruby-studded butt plug, so I have rubies on my anus.
I know, and Jupiter disagrees apparently, according to the real Cygnus. Well, I'm not sure you're that close to Jupiter. In fact, another thing about it being a gas giant, its gravitational field is 5 times the size of our sun. It's the biggest non-stellar thing we know of. And something inside that little fucking bunch of gas that apparently is viscous, it's not totally held together, creates a magnetic or a gravitational field that's 5 times the size of our wonderful little fireball that keeps us warm. So, I mean, this is amazing shit. I just love marveling at it. I can't sit there and go, nah, I don't understand it, so it can't work. I just think, wow, we know this shit. Fuck, we live in a great time, guys. I feel so privileged.
Yeah.
And these dickheads fucking sit in fields.
Yeah. They're outstanding.
The shit that we learn just from space exploration, just, you know, the last 50 years or so, all the knowledge that we've gained, and even, you know, the last, 15 years or so since we've been able to spot exoplanets. We had no idea that exoplanet, you know, we theorized that they existed, but we had no idea, no evidence or confirmation that they did. And then we figured out how to spot them.
Yep.
And since then, we found thousands of exoplanets.
Yeah, there's one that's circling, God, what's the name of it? The planet is circling the star. There's one that's actually in its Goldilocks zone that is around, I believe it said 100 times the size of Earth. its gravity is a little bit stronger than ours, but its atmosphere.
Yeah, it's like 1.6 times or something like that.
Yeah, it's like 1.6.
But we found one that could be a planet that is actually made of diamonds.
Yeah.
Like the pressure is so high that all the carbon has turned into diamonds on it.
Yeah, in fact, that's I believe that's 2 orbiting black holes. They're getting together, creating the gravitational waves that we get every 6 to 7 months. One's orbiting, one's a bit bigger, and it's stripped all the carbon or all the electrons off the other, effectively making it a diamond core planet. So it's a stage of extreme density, but not to the black hole point, because it's got to go through pulsar phasar stages and all that. But amazing shit, isn't it? Yeah, I love that stuff.
And it really does blow my mind that there are stupid people who, as fascinating as all this is, will literally stick their fingers in their ears and go, nuh-uh, it's fake.
Yeah, it pisses me off to the...
Like, how cool is it that we found a fucking planet that could be made of diamonds? We found a planet that is very likely could have life on it. We found all this cool shit. And even just in our own solar system, all the cool shit. And I forget who it was. Robert Williams said that the core of Jupiter could be metallic hydrogen.
Yeah.
Like, how fucking awesome is that?
Also, there's a moon on Jupiter that's got a slightly elliptic orbit, and the variation of gravity gives a crushing relieving effect, which means it's got liquid water because there's no cratering on the outside. I can't remember which one it is, but it's one of the more famous ones.
Or Titan. It's either Io or Titan.
It's one of those two, because we know those. It's condensing all the time, so it's got liquid water, which means it could actually have life. Obviously, wouldn't have advanced sort of like us, because I know.
I know which one you're talking about. Like they think the surface of the water is frozen, but then underneath the sheet of ice is liquid water.
Titan. It's Titan.
Yeah, because it's not created. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly Titan.
Okay. Robert Williams says Iowa is volcanic.
Volcanic, yeah.
It's volcanic, or what's the one that's covered with ice? It's ice planet Hoth, I guess. If you're a Star Wars. Anyway, okay.
Europa, that's it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Europa. Yes, that's the one. Thanks. Thank you, Robert.
Robert knows what we're talking about better than we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, he did the research beforehand.
Robert Williams.
He's done his research. Thank you.
Robert Williams should be here, not us.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
we'll just leave. Robert, why don't you jump on the call and we'll just let you do the stream.
Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
But now I see it everywhere, and everybody is yelling gas pressure gradient in an attempt to explain away the needing of a barrier between Earth's atmosphere and space. Okay? So this is the problem when people use a term out of context and try to use it to explain something they really don't understand. So people are yelling gas pressure gradient, gas pressure gradient. Okay? So let's see here. Answer this question. What comes first? Gas pressure or gas pressure gradient? First,
neither.
Answer this question. How
Stop littering, JM.
Also known as atmospheric pressure, without a container to begin with. Folks,
gravity.
Before we talk about gradients, okay? Because there's all kinds of gradients. But before we talk about gradients, define
JM, why
gas
don't you look up a definition that says gas pressure and atmospheric pressure are the same thing,
not water pressure,
and let us see
gas pressure, okay? Because you can't compare water pressure to gas pressure.
Find one,
That's called
JM.
a false equivalency fallacy. What does that mean? It means you're using two separate states of matter, or two completely separate things, to try to compare one to another. It'd be like comparing cows and apples. It makes no sense. Okay, let's look at why for a minute. Okay, why? So the question is why. Even though liquids, like water, and gases are arbitrarily classified as fluids, liquids are not gases. Okay, and number two, water pressure still requires a container. Look at oceans.
You misspelled arbitrarily.
Okay? You have the bottom and you have the wall, and it contains the oceans in it. There's no ceiling. The difference is water does not have to be in a sealed container, and there's a reason for that.
A thing called spell check.
However,
when you misspell,
it does not have to be in a sealed container because water is made of H2O molecules that have intermolecular bonds, i.e., they do not move freely and at high speeds. Now, gas, because they do not have intermolecular bonds and do move at high speeds. That's the difference. Let's look at this one more time, shall we? Because atoms and molecules in gases are much more spread out than in solids or liquids. They vibrate and move freely at high speeds. Gases will fill any container, but if the container is not sealed, the gases will escape, okay? And
it does.
Gases behave differently from the other two commonly studied states of matter, solids and liquids. So we have different methods of treating and understanding how gases behave under certain conditions. Gases, unlike solids and liquids, have neither fixed volume nor shape. They are molded entirely by the container in which they're held. Again, from our friends at the University of North Carolina. So here's the million-dollar question, folks. How do we have a gas pressure, also known as atmospheric pressure, here on Earth, if in fact we're on a spinning ball? Stop.
Because it's atmospheric pressure, not gas pressure, JM.
Now, I've got the answer for you. Some of you are not going to like this, but that's okay. I never said you'd like it. I simply said it would be the truth. In other cosmologies around the world, we are told that Earth is flat and appears to have a dome over it.
And that's the JM
Egyptian,
truth.
Norse, Hindu, Inca, Navajo, and even Hebrew. Okay? Not to mention that in Scripture, we are told over 150 times what the cosmology of this Earth is. In fact, in Job, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Enoch, the list goes on, folks. In fact, in Job, we're told that he spread the stars like a canopy for us to dwell.
I don't give a single solitary fuck about what the Bible fucking says. It is not a science book. It's not even a history book. It's a book written by fucking goat fuckers. There. Okay, I got it out.
True. And, you know,
And
I
it's
just
a
want to
damn
point
good
out
book
that
on goat fucking.
I went
If you're
to
a goat
I went to UNC Wilmington for one semester and didn't like it, so I went back to the other college that I went to. But that doesn't make me a UNC student.
Yeah.
JM.
Did you leave because of the lack of goat fucking access or not? Because, you know, goat fucking is a very important thing for biblical studies, isn't it? Ah, damn. Okay.
UNC Wilmington was actually a cool school. I was just going through some shit when I went there and had some problems, and yeah. I won't go through all the why, but it is a really cool school.
Yeah. Global Mum says that his jump cuts are so awful. Is that a cut of beef that he does when he's doing his butcher shop gig?
You know, Simon Dan is pretty good at cutting, and you can't really tell unless you're paying attention that it's cutting. But JM fucks up his lines so much that he has to cut every 2 or 3 words. And he doesn't understand what continuity means. So he doesn't know that he needs to stay in one position so that when he cuts, it doesn't jump like that. You know, something that you learn in film school.
Yeah.
I thought JM was a filmmaker.
I thought he was a filmographer as well, but a videographer, a filmographer, whatever the fuck he wants to call ographer.
He's a modified filmographer.
He's a modified dumbass.
Okay? It says he separated the waters from the waters. Okay? In fact, in one place of Job, it says that it's a looking glass, and that we look as grasshoppers to him, and that it is his footstool for us, the Creator's footstool. Okay? Now, this actually makes sense when you look at gas pressure and realize we have to be in a container, and that we can't live on a spinning ball. Yet we've decided to believe people who have said they have tested these things without any proof. We've been shown CGI, computer graphics. We've been shown very bad cartoons, maps, or not maps, but drawings, paintings, and other things, but never an act.
I will say this, JM is the very model of a moderator general. He's information, vegetable, animal, and mineral. You know the kings of England and he qualifies historical from marathon to what the North categorical.
You know, I was in that musical or operetta or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Operetta.
And I sang chorus to that song, and I hated it.
I love that song. I had that memorized.
I think I still have my chorus book from it somewhere.
Oh, nice.
I tried to keep all the scripts from the shows that I was in.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
But I was a pirate. I call it the Pirates of Piss Ants.
Pirates of Penzance is one of my favorite operettas. Anyway.
Any actual
but it's
proof,
funnier if you call it the Pirates of Piss
So I don't know. Is there other
instead
planetoid forms or other things that NASA's told us that are gaseous, spherical places that we're told really exist? Like
really
most of the
dark,
planets,
or
I
is that
guess,
just
in our
me?
solar system.
It got dark.
How are they even existing
I
without a
keep
container.
waiting
In
for
fact, now that I
someone
think
to
about it,
emerge in the forest
the
in the
sun,
background,
we're told, is a
like,
big
you know, a
gaseous
porn
ball
movie
burning
or something.
in space in a vacuum. By the way, since we're on the subject of vacuums, fire, the element by which the sun exerts its energy, and I don't care if it's nuclear fission or what, it's still fire.
No, it's not.
Needs what
It's
element
not fire.
in order to continue to burn? Oxygen. But wait, there's no oxygen in space. How is it burning?
Oh,
in fact, the sun has no container. And we've already dispelled gravity. So here's my hypothesis, which technically is all it can be because there's no way NASA or anyone else has ever studied the sun because there's no way to get close enough to it.
It's not even a hypothesis.
My hypothesis.
It's just a fucking
not a ball of
wild,
gas.
crazy
It's
thought.
also probably not 93 million miles away because light doesn't travel forever, folks. But I digress. We'll talk about light in a different class. In fact, now that I think about it, planets and stars are allegedly other balls of gas, but I've just established they cannot burn in the vacuum of space. Since we're talking about vacuums, how do you have a vacuum that's not in a container? Again, gas, the negative side of that, or the opposite side of that would also be negative gas or a vacuum. Okay,
Okay, I'm
So it
about
would
to
need be
blow
held in a
Jam's
container.
mind here. Pause it for a second. We do have a vacuum inside of a container, JM. It's called the universe. And it's not a perfect vacuum. It has some shit in it, but it is a vacuum.
There's also a vacuum inside JM's head. It's called his brain.
It's just a vacuous cavity.
Exactly.
Actually, again, although I don't remember that much because it was so long ago, I do remember our science teacher around year 9, 10 saying it's not actually a vacuum, it's a lack of atmospheric pressure.
Yeah.
That's what he said to us as kids, and it's sort of like, yeah, well, that's stuck. The other one they always hated too, which I love bringing up, is the scramjet principle, or is it the buzz bomb, which is a little chamber that has the gas moving to and fro, and the thrust of the gas actually creates a vacuum immediately behind it. And the buzz bomb was also used, same principle, for the expansion chamber on two strokes, which has a pressurized section of gas, the explosion going out, being expelled, or the combustion being expelled, and immediately behind that is vacuum. You actually see a negative pressure wave when they check it. Now, although that's complex gas physics and principles, they go, oh, but it's still in a container. Yeah, well, how do you get
Robert
gas around
Williams,
that
you're
quickly
right.
without having it?
The V1 was a scramjet or a pulse jet engine.
Correct. The buzz bomb.
The explosion from the gas went out the ass of the motor and created a vacuum, which opened the vents back, sucked more air in, sucked more fuel in, and ignited again.
Yep. It had little reed valves, and there was a pressure valve, a pressure wave of vacuum because it's lack of atmospheric, that drew in the incoming mixture. So it was actually really clever, and it was not motorbikes that made it first. It was actually air design. I think it was a Czechoslovakian engineer. But either way, that is a vacuum and gas pressure cohabitating in perfect harmony, sending bombs across the channel, which kind of says, isn't it great that an amazing scientific principle got used for such a nefarious purpose? But unfortunately, war does force developments like that too. We love to think of great, clever ways of killing each other, as we do. So anyway, sorry guys, tangent.
Yeah, they weren't very great at the whole targeting thing. Like you look at their rate of actual hits with the V1 and V2s, and of course they never completed the V3, but they didn't quite have targeting figured out that well. But they got the engines right, and those helped develop modern engines.
What you're saying, Quiddies, yes and no. It wasn't targeted as precisely as, say, nowadays, even though nowadays isn't perfect either. But the Mosquito pilots, because they were the only things fast enough, because they were 2 millions on wood, could get up and actually tip one of them and throw off its gyro. So they did have a certain degree of targeting, but at that point, even if they threw the gyro off, it was still going to explode somewhere. And they were pretty desperate. The V1 was actually a rocket engine, whereas the V2
No,
was a rocket engine.
the V1 was the scramjet. The V2 was a rocket engine. And they couldn't do anything about the V2. It was traveling, it was hypersonic. Literally all they could do is just something explodes, and then they're like, yep, I guess that was V2. But the V1, it flew slow enough that they could catch up to it with a Spitfire, or even a Hurricane, I think, could catch up with it.
No, I thought it was mosquitoes, but I'm not sure about that. I'll check up on that because mosquitoes were the quickest. The other one too, with the V1, V2, when they were fueling them up, this would be hard to do in a situation knowing a plane could appear and shoot you up. But the two fuel supplies had to be kept 500 meters apart from each other because even the fumes mixing could start fires and do that sort of thing. So when they loaded one thing in, that truck had to piss off. The new one came in, and if the FW190s actually landed with a cup of fuel in them, they could still explode. You had to run every bit of fuel out of them. And one guy got eaten away by the fuel when his plane flipped over and the fuel leaked onto him. So it actually, the V1, V2 development killed more people on the side that were making it than it actually killed of enemy troops. So it killed more Germans than it did Allied people. Isn't that amazing in development? So there.
Well, it also killed a lot of people in the concentration camps.
True.
I think that's who it killed the most of were the actual workers.
Camps,
But yeah, the Robert Williams just brought something up about the nuclear ramjet. I just learned about this like in the past week or two, that they actually were going to try nuclear powered rockets, and that's pretty awesome. You know, basically just have a miniature nuclear bomb that goes off in a rocket engine.
That's not a good idea, though, because that essentially turns that into a giant.
Yeah, it basically
missile.
just irradiates everything underneath it.
Yeah.
But you know, it was a pretty brilliant idea as far as like if we got it into space first, away from us, and then fired it, it could fly.
Yeah, but
it could accelerate conceivably to the speed of light.
But as Robert Williams
before the core wore out.
As Robert Williams pointed out, you do end up irradiating the entire atmosphere.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling
that's kind of a problem.
Captain Kirk. Yeah, Captain Kirk did have a big problem. I believe episode 1 with Captain Kirk, as in William Shatner, was about a robot turning up saying, "You guys have contaminated the fucking universe, and we've got to blow you up." And Captain Kirk had to kind of bargain with this erratic robot who'd broken its programming or something like that. So, and I believe every sci-fi in the world's covered us for that one, us polluting the universe. So yeah, we've got to be careful about that.
Well, we only have 2 minutes left on this video.
Yeah,
so.
I was about to say we've gone off on a tangent long enough.
Yeah,
we have.
If we go to a laboratory and look at a vacuum, we can only create a vacuum in a container. Yet we're told that on this Earth, all this oxygen stays here on Earth by gravity. But there is no gravity. And I've just shown you that you can't have a gas pressure without a container. So all the pseudoscience that we've been taught, folks,
but you
is a
haven't
lie,
shown us that there's no gravity.
Now, I'm sorry if you're a teacher or a professor or even an astrophysicist, and you've been teaching this garbage.
Astrophysicist.
Unfortunately, this is what happens when you teach in a system that has a curriculum that you can't verify. It's called indoctrination. Anyway, the important thing to note here is that gas pressure must have a container in order to hold gaseous material. That having been said, I'd like to thank you for being here with me on jmtruth.com. I hope you've enjoyed this class. I know I've enjoyed sharing it with you. And I hope we can move forward into really discovering truth and what our world and what our this place that we live on called Earth really is. Because I think that there's more here than meets the eye, folks. If you like this video, please like it and share it on YouTube, Facebook, and other social media
I would call this a
platforms. Please feel free to
dumbass
have an open
derping
discussion
in a
about this.
field.
That having been said, that ends my class for today. We'll see you next time. Hey guys, I was wondering, do you think maybe we can try to figure out what the sun really is?
Stop littering, JM.
Stop littering. Anyway, that's it for that video for tonight, and
Renee and me, ramjet has a porn connotation to it when said out loud.
Yeah, it does.
Giggity. So yeah, we've got a few minutes here. We're gonna let everyone go in about 15 minutes, so everyone can go over to MC Tunes to watch the debate.
Yeah.
But we're going to play a little derp roulette. Booma, why don't you pick the first time? We've got 3556 to choose from.
1017. Was I picking? 1017.
Yeah, 1017.
Hey, just a quick one for the chat guys too. You were talking about starting the life under plants, whoever that was. Johnny Charcoal. Hello, Johnny. I don't know your name. And Robert Williams, we've not seen you as well. We've kind of seen you in. So, hey, thanks for coming, guys. I'm just going to point out that we've got it sort of wrong. Plants are using us as mobile fertilizer. They provide oxygen so we can then cruise around, die, and they eat us. So it's actually the other way. We don't eat plants. Plants eat us. So nice call there. whoever said that, which starting life under plants. We are their fertilizer.
And we don't do experiments
Anyway.
on mice. They do experiments on us.
Correct. Very Douglas Adams there. Yes. And of course the dolphins. Yes.
So long and thanks for all the fish. Yes.
All right. So tonight's Derp Roulette is JM's 35.6 mile observation that he had no idea what he was doing. He just thought 8 inches per mile squared means you can't see it. So he can see it, therefore Earth flat.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure this is the one where JM thought that because he saw a light that far away, President Trump was going to call him and congratulate him for proving that the Earth is flat. So let's see what kind of derp JM has for us.
Let's do it.
I am.
It's playing.
Oh, okay.
It's playing.
Oh.
But JM's
Okay,
not talking.
dramatic.
I think you
Dramatic
picked the one place where JM's just not saying anything.
If only Democ was here to do some voiceover. Where is Democ when you need him?
What does 216 feet below the curve even mean?
Beyond the horizon, I believe. I don't know. I don't
No,
know.
that makes no sense. Just below the curve.
Maybe 216 feet obstructed view due to the horizon?
I mean, literally all he did was 8 inches times mile squared.
Yeah.
And then say that's below the curve, which means absolutely jack shit.
Yeah. Even without him saying something, he said something stupid.
Yeah. Pretty much. Good job,
Well,
JM.
yeah.
You can say something stupid without opening your mouth.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Pretty much.
Oh, I forgot about that. He thought that Metabunk used 8 inches times mile squared as their formula for Earth curvature.
Yeah.
And he was blown away that they didn't. When I think it was MC Toon was the one that told him that they didn't, and he was blown away by it. All right, let's pick another time.
I'll pick 26.
Well, okay. It was. Do I get a point for that? Because he didn't actually say anything stupid. So I reckon I get the point on a technicality. he typed up stupid.
I mean,
but that,
yeah. There
I'll
was
have to
stupid
send the
there,
adjudicators.
but maybe he... Oh, it's not playing. I was about to say maybe he just doesn't say much in this.
I don't think he says anything in this, actually. The view of it.
Well, you want to just try the other one then?
Yeah, let's try the other video.
Yes, Robert Williams, Metabunk does show the actual formula, but flat earthers can't research. They just think that every site with Earth curvature uses 8 inches times mile squared because that's the only formula they've ever heard, because that's the only formula that their Papa Flurf has ever said.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he does the proper one, which is d squared bracket d squared times r squared, whatever, it's actually quite a bigger one. And it is a bit scary mathy. That one actually does work. The 8 inches per mile square is actually a snail shell. It inverts in on itself. It only works, well, in theory, up to 90 degrees, because in 90 degrees of a circle, you then, it's what do you call it? It goes in, it implodes on itself. It just doesn't work.
Ouroboros?
Back in fucking Pythagoras time.
Ouroboros? Ouroboros, yeah. Ouroboros.
All right, so Zumi, what time did you pick? 26 minutes? Let's just do 26 minutes in this.
Yeah.
And this is just JM derp.
No, actually, I'll change that to right
Bill
here.
Clinton.
24:30.
Yeah, apparently Bill Clinton proves the Earth is flat.
Yeah, I'll go to 24:30 since it shows Bill Clinton up there. Just because Bill Clinton.
Vampire rules. Good call, Robert Williams. You might be onto something there. If you kill the king flurf, all the other flurfs fly, drop down like vampires do.
That's why I had
Nice
the
one.
I had the
I
site.
like that.
I had the site muted. That's why it didn't play anything.
Well, there you go.
See, everyone can make prop errors.
This report I received today is a monumental document in more ways than one. But it is a very, very important piece of America's history, and it will shape America's future in ways that will make us a more honorable, more successful, and more ethical country.
What does this have to do with flat
What
Earth?
this committee learned, I would like to review today with a little more detail than Dr. Faden said, because I think it must be engraved on our national memory. Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take
sexual relations with that woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking monumental. Yeah, he had some monumental fucking Oval Office action happening, didn't he?
place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around our nation. The goal was to understand the effects of radiation exposure on the human body. While most of the tests were ethical by any standards, some were unethical, not only by today's standards, but by
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, this is about testing on soldiers.
Let's
He plays saxophone. He can play a saxophone. Hey, Billy. Okay,
Let's do 7 minutes 30 seconds.
Okay, there we go.
Because that's 69.
Yeah.
6 minutes 90 seconds.
Yeah, 69.
We will
all right.
Move on to other evidence.
Isaiah 40:12-14, ESV 12, who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and marked off the heavens with his span, and closed the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in a balance. 13, who has measured the spirit of the Lord, or what man shows him his counsel. 14, whom did he consult, and who made him understand? Who taught him the path of justice, and taught him knowledge, and showed him the way of understanding? Job 38:4, ESV 4, where were you when I laid the foundation of the earth? Tell me, if you have understanding. Isaiah 40:20.
Okay, that's enough of that. I don't feel like having Bible verses shoved down my fucking ass. I mean, throat. Yeah.
He's just highlighting random words that he thinks means flat, like circle.
Yeah.
I was having an interesting discussion with one of my friends who was actually he's a bit of a trade union boy. He was a member of the Seamen's Union. Keep the jokes back, guys. Yes, there is a thing called the Seamen's Union. Anyway,
how do I sign up for that? How do I sign up for that?
He's the one that told me, well, you can join up. You just got to come over and pay your union fees, and I'm sure these it's on ships, mate. So I'm quite sure it doesn't leave much to the imagination. But one of the things he did tell me, because I asked about the 8 inches per mile squared thing a couple of years ago, and he didn't know shit about it. He's like, "What the fuck are you?" Because he's got a navigation ticket now. He needs to know how to use a sextant, even though they never use one. It's got to be there in case GPS goes down, and you've got to have 3 people with a navigation ticket on any given huge ship, because if those ships get out of control, they kind of fuck things, as Jurassic Park showed us. So what he told me, though, because I asked him about this just recently, he said, "Are you still in that fucking flat earth shit?" "Dude, I've got a navigation ticket. Where are they?" And I said, no, don't go near them. You won't convince them. But he has a nav ticket. He doesn't go out sailing now because COVID's killed him, but killed the industry a fair degree. But you got to have 3 nav tickets, people on the ship, and they've all got to be able to use a sextant, even though they never do. They need to get it out occasionally and just show each other, remembering. It's like an old language. You've got to keep practicing so you know what to do in case GPS goes down. So,
Stream just went down.
He didn't even know about it.
Oh, now it's back. The stream was buffering.
Oh,
well,
okay. Doesn't like me going on about navigation tickets. Oh my God, it's the Illuminati. Damn.
Yep.
All right. Yes, my master. Okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone's eyes were glazing over as you were talking anyway.
I'll go to 1518 because that adds up to 33.
All right.
And go.
This chart you see here. What we see in this picture is something we should not be seeing.
And you can tell that's a fisheye lens because there's a dip.
You can literally see how it curves up at the edges.
Yeah.
At least on the top 2 pictures. The bottom one looks like it may be normal.
The bottom looks like it curves
but
up a little
the
bit.
earth level and the sky level, both, it curves up at the edges.
Yeah, those are both fisheye lenses that make it convex.
That's some Flurf research right there.
Hashtag gotta lie to Flurf. Anyway.
The Earth,
JM
according to
definitely
NASA,
not on
drops
the
8
level.
inches.
What was that, Boomer?
JM is definitely not on the level with this one. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Squared every mile.
He's still
And
talking
so
about the last
as we get
thing that he had
higher
up there.
from the Earth,
Even though he's got
the Earth
this one
should
up, he's still
disappear
talking
from
about that
our
8
view.
inches per square mile thing.
But as you can see, this is not what happens here. Another interesting fact
It's
to
your
consider.
presentation, JM. If you're going to talk about something,
Everyone
leave
likes
it
to
on the
use throughout
screen.
the term physics. You know, especially with Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's a physics. He is a doctor.
I wonder what he's hiding
astrophysics.
with that big door thing.
I think he's a spokesperson more than anything. But
He's hiding the Illuminati behind there.
That's just me.
And the thing about Neil deGrasse Tyson is, he's not okay. He is a theoretical physicist as well as a bit of a comedian, and he's not an actual, scientist.
I think he's an astrophysicist. Isn't he?
Astrophysicist, theoretical astrophysicist. I thought it was theoretical physicist. I'm thinking about Carl Sagan. Shit, sorry. Carl Sagan was the theoretical physicist. Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson is an astrophysicist, which he's not a scientist. He's a science communicator. He puts things in layman's terms so that common people can understand what he's saying instead of, actual science speak.
Yeah. And, one thing that I love is when flirts get in debates and they always talk about what Neil deGrasse Tyson said, and he's one of your globe priests. But how many times do you see any of us, any debunker or anything like that, actually go to Neil deGrasse Tyson for anything?
None whatsoever. Zero. Absolutely no times.
Well, I've got a restraining order. You've got a restraining order on me, so I don't have that option. Hey, guys, 4 minutes off. Hey, by the way, it's 16 hours till the card game tomorrow. Just thought I'd mention that. A card game coming up. And
all right, let's do one more quick, and then we'll get out of here so everyone can go watch MC Toon.
Yeah.
4 minutes.
Close enough.
Use one of the Hebrew words here, circle, and I'm going to present to you what the Strong's definition is.
Yeah, Rashika.
And then show you that the writer in this verse also understood the difference between these two words. Okay, but Isaiah 40:22, it says, "It is he who sits above the circle of the earth."
No, it's actually the closest approximation to a Hebrew word there is rakia, which means sphere, not circle.
Yeah. Well, what was it? Was it the debate with JM and Nathan Thompson where he said Nathan Thompson was almost a neurosurgeon, where JM said that Hebrew is the oldest language in the world?
No, it's not. It's definitely not.
No, it's not. But JM thinks it is.
Yeah,
he thinks
does.
it was the first language ever invented.
Yeah, he does.
All right, so that's enough JM for the night.
Yeah. It was a short
you don't
one,
have to
but
stay here. Well, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. MC Toon has a stream. Robert Greenlee versus Billy Santo starting in 2 minutes. So everyone get your asses over there and watch some derp. And we'll see you next week.
Tomorrow. Planet Walk's got that weird guy tomorrow too. That one with the glasses who looks like he's kind of red beetroot alcohol-y. The one who basically shows all the scientists. He owns them every time. He's just a salesman. Planet Walk's got a good one coming up. The 1 + 1 = 1. So I can buy it. Anyway.
Yeah.
You know the dickhead. I don't want to give him his name. Yeah, he's so forgetful.
Yeah.
Well, let's play us out. Let's play us out here.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Surf got here just in time for us to say bye.